Over the last 8 episodes, we've lifted the lid on exactly what it takes to be successful at the Isle of Man TT races. You've had a taste of how hard it is to get here, as well as how hard it can be to come back. We've heard straight from the horse's mouth what it takes to set that records. But let's not forget why these riders started in the first place. What's the end goal? There must have been a dream.
I remember being like 16 when you leave school, and I remember telling the teacher, I was like, she goes, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to be a motorbike racer, miss. And she went, don't be stupid, you have to get a real job. And I thought, I'm going to fucking show you.
I suppose you do dream about winning, really, don't you? You probably dream about it.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do.
I've dreamt a lot about that. That's what I want right now. I want the win.
Yeah, of course you do. You want to win. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it now. It's still the same end goal, yeah.
Well, I'd said to myself a couple of years ago that I'd come until I won and then I'd walk away. But
I'm sure once you get one, you want more, so it's...
Yeah, I don't know anyone that's done that either. But I did say that years ago. I did say it to myself. I don't know if I said it out loud, but I definitely said it to myself. I was like, I'll come, and then once I win one, then I'll walk away.
If I can win one, I'll be over the moon.
I can't believe I've won a TT. Actually, no, even if someone says it to me, I'm like, fucking hell. You sure?
Yeah, no, honestly, my first TT, I first started racing here, never in my wildest dreams I think, I'm going to be winning this race.
I don't want to be greedy, and I just want to get the big one, and then that'll be me. And I think I always set out for that. I never wanted to be the outright kind of...
As much as you set out to win, I didn't necessarily have any major goals of thinking, right, I'm just going to go and smash all you boys to the floor and let you all have it. And that wasn't really my intentional thought process coming here. It was for a number of different reasons, but the main one is I want to keep racing bikes, and I really enjoy racing bikes. The fact that I'm now winning is a massive added bonus, of course.
Well, somebody said to me right at the start of the whole job, somebody said, you're going to win 6. You take them, wouldn't you? I'd be like, oh, then.
The King of the Mountain crown still means so much to so many, including John McGuinness. Still top 5 sharp after all these years. Does he still want it? Does the desire for whatever it is ever go away?
I think he'd love to win again, and as a racer, anyone likes to win.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't be here, would he? He's here, he's still fast enough, so it's not like he's going to be a million miles away. Obviously the pace at the front's a little bit hotter now, but who's to say that he can't still string one together and win a race? You never know, do you? So you can't never say never.
If a few things come into play, John could win. I wouldn't. You'd be a madman to write John McGuinness off. Like, for all the TTs that he's won, how much knowledge he has. If he comes in as the underdog, which he is doing, because a lot of people are writing him off, that motivates him to come back and prove people wrong, and he's done that time and time again over the years. And
I wouldn't be surprised, knowing John and how passionate he is about TT and being here and Joey.
I'd love to see him win 1 or 2 more, and if he could match Joey's record, it would be amazing. At the end of the day, John McGuinness has been my hero growing up, and seeing him win all them TTs. And
there's no one more experienced than him.
I think if he could win, even if it's just 1 win, and he doesn't match Joey's record, it'd be great to see him at the top of that step again.
I've thought about it, but come to the conclusion I'm probably not going to get it. In hindsight, I brought him down in 3 or 4 others where I probably should have won them. So I'd be sat alongside him, really. It'd be great to match him. To match the great man to 26 would be just the icing on the cake. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm happy with my toll. I'm happy with what I've achieved. I can't. It's been epic. I mean, the man who's going to smash through that is Michael Dunlop.
I always think Michael's had a bit of a hard rap, really, because of his family, who he comes from. Everyone expects him to be amazing, don't they? And
what a lot of people maybe don't pick up on Michael is that he doesn't even need to do it. You know, he's got other ways of making a living, and you know, just look at what it's cost his family in the past. But that desire must be second to none, and that's why he's going to become the best of all time. You know,
there's only one place that makes people do incredible things, and that's here. And you've got to put that's where Michael is, isn't it? You know, we are, without being disrespectful in any way, for him to find the minerals to carry on is something else, isn't it?
We started this series with comebacks, and when you add emotion into the equation, could this be the greatest comeback of all time?
Well, there is no answer to that. I mean, it makes you tingle. Very, very, very special. We're not talking coming back from injury, but we're talking about, you know, the passion, the desire, the will to get back on that ferry and come, and, you know, all the rest of it with what he's been through. No, Michael's very special, love him to bits. Yeah, you'd have to put that right up there for different reasons, wouldn't you?
To have that mental strength to continue, to be honest, is remarkable, and I wouldn't know how to process all that, really. I think there's a lot to overcome there, and yeah, that's comeback-wise, as you say. That's one of the best, for definite.
There has to be an emotion to it. It really has to be something of which none of us can comprehend based on what he's been through. So yeah, I think emotionally, I don't think we're going to see him more than anyone, you know, of the passion and the belief and what he has to get people to understand that he's still a human being underneath all the exterior of who he is as a Dunlop.
The trouble is, some people don't have filters, do they? And you know, I would imagine the last thing Michael wants to talk about is that, you know, just want to pick the pieces up and cherish the memories and move on. But he's not going to get away from that, is he? Ever. You know, he's a Dunlop, so. But he's Michael Dunlop, not Joey Dunlop or Robert Dunlop.
Obviously, I was quite close to William, and like, it's a funny relationship, so him and Michael wouldn't have, like, they were obviously brothers, they loved each other and they'd fall out and all this jazz. But I was just closer to William than I was Michael. And I said this to Michael recently, do you know what I mean? We talk well now, do you know what I mean? We've both got a bit older, and I said to him, I was like, well done, you know what I mean? Well done at the TT. I says, people have no idea, do you know what I mean? I said, I don't know how, I honestly don't know how you do what you do. Because like, coming back from your own injuries is hard, but when your brother dies, your dad dies, your uncle dies, and they're all like this. My only explanation is, like, if you were on a fun fair ride, and some of your family died on that fun fair ride on a Thursday, you wouldn't get back on that fun fair ride on a Saturday without there being some sort of a safety check. You know what I mean? It's the same, and you're doing the same thing. He's getting on the same track, same fun fair ride, and it's like, yeah, he's made peace with his head, and he's more competitive now than he was 4 or 5 years ago.
I don't think we're ever going to see the likes of this from anyone else based on what they haven't been through, you know. And for him to mature in the way that he has, to understand the position that he's in, to have the weight of the legacy on him as well, based on what he's racing towards, what we can see right now as a historical moment of being the king of the mountain, and why not? He's where we are right now. He's one race away from equaling that to Joey. So in our time in our life now, we are really witnessing something special.
25 wins. Unreal, isn't it?
He's a class actor. I think he's brilliant. He deserves it. He's good. He goes about his business in his own quiet, calm, collected way, and he doesn't say a lot and just gets on with the job. And I respect him for it.
Well, it would make him, if he exceeded Joey's 26, I think would be incredible, and he couldn't say anything other than he would be the most successful rider on the TT course.
Well, if he takes over that, he becomes the king of the mountain. That's it. Don't you think?
Yeah, there's a good chance of it. Might be the new king of the mountain, yeah.
If he's got the most wins, he's the king. That's it.
Michael's like a silent assassin, isn't he? He
just seems to like stealthily win them, you know, he doesn't like...
The wins just keep coming, don't they? On different variations of bikes, whether it be a super twin or a super sport bike or super bike when it comes right for him.
I mean, you can't argue with him, can you? And you can't take him away from him. He's won him fair and square. And
that's not me having to go with any other TT rider, but he's earned, no one can say he's had any of them handed to him.
You know, he's been winning TTs for the last 14 years. That's impressive. Do I think he'll overtake his uncle Joey? Yeah.
But he can't, it must be an awkward thing. Not awkward because it's there to be, like I said, it's there to be broken, but like I said, he'd be the king of the mountain then, wouldn't he? Not his uncle, you know, and people have talked about it a long time. Joey's the king, and with Michael be the king then, wouldn't he?
And that Dunlop dynasty thing, you know, you wouldn't begrudge him getting 26, 27 wins, would you, you know? And I imagine if they're all looking down on him, they won't mind it either.
Batter through it. Take it. Joey wouldn't mind. Joey's family wouldn't mind. Joey was never interested in numbers and facts and that. He wanted to ride his bike, didn't he? He was good enough to win lots of races. He'd not be offended if Michael won 30.
We're definitely going to see, when Michael Dunlop retires from the Isle of Man TT, we're going to see a win total that's going to start with the number 3. You know, even maybe high up, you know, 36, 37 wins, 38, maybe even into 4, but who knows?
Be interesting to see when he hits Joey's target, what he does.
I think that'll be weird for him too, do you know what I mean? Because all his life, his whole life, his uncle has been the best TT rider ever. And now that's going to happen to him. So I can't imagine what he must feel like.
I'd like to think that, at least in the back of his head somewhere, he's thought about it.
You can win all 8 this year and boom, that's it, job done, innit? Do you know what I mean? And then next year another 8, and then another 8, another 8, and then we're up to 50. Before we know it, we're at 50 TT wins, and you're like, how the fuck did we get here?
I think he can't not think about that, and I know that Michael's got a lot of respect for his uncle and his dad and even for William, do you know what I mean? How could he not for what they've done?
Then again, does he want to beat his uncle's record, or, you know, because it's going to be probably a question I have to ask him myself, really.
No, I just think, you know, everybody says that, but at the end of the day, you know, as I said, every record's there to be broken, you know what I mean? If I want another 20 TTs, fantastic. If there's no more, I'm still over 20, you know what I mean? It's pretty good going from somebody who's, you know, from Ireland, so I think one way or the other, I think we've done all right. So I don't really look at records, but I still want to win, so I just want to keep pushing.
It's perfectly clear that his want to do it and his talent is the reason he's where he's at now. You can't rack that many wins up in that space of time without special desire.
Without any shadow of a doubt, it looks as though he will become the most successful motorcycle racer of all time. Again, for the moment, Michael said records are made to be broken. There could be another one coming through.
I mean, I don't think there is any doubt that Michael's going to do it. 25 already. And then, yeah, there would be, I think, no disputing that he would be the greatest of all time. However, look at the guys that are on that list and are racking up the wins as well.
To win like Michael wins, you have to think like a Dunlop. And that means taking all records and beating all comers. regardless of what their name is, and for as long as you possibly can. In the first season, Between the Hedges, we said that the best TT race ever was the next one. The one that we all wait 50 weeks of the year to see. "2024 is no different. Whoever you're cheering for, be ready. Anything can happen."